very good evening. Welcome to BCN News. The next phase of the construction works on the new Falefono at Halamahaga is expected to begin. The project had stalled while the injunction application in the High Court was being dealt with. The application by the opposition MP, Honourable Terry Koh, was dismissed by the High Court last month. The demolition and excavation works have been completed here at Halamahaga. Before commencing the next phase of construction works, the project team will have to inform landowners and neighbours that development works will begin again and advise them of the conditions and the working hours.
Unfortunately, it's taken quite a while to resolve the injunction, so it required renegotiating some terms of the contract with the selected contractor. We believe that we'll be able to start the construction phase as soon as we can get the contract finalised again. So we expect to be able to do that in the next 2 to 4 weeks.
The project manager, Api Fiso, says the new Falefono is being constructed on Crown land while the surrounding land is native. According to the project manager, due diligence has been carried out in this regard.
The status of the land at Halamahaga, there are different elements of the land. Some is leased, some is Crown land, some is in dispute. The land on which the Falefono is intended to be built is Crown land, and that's supported by the documentation from the Ministry of Justice.
Is that also stalling the progress, or is it just now that you have to work renewing the contract?
No, we'll continue with the project as we intended. Of course, landowners and lessees are entitled to seek redress through the court, but as far as we're aware, we can continue with our project.
The design of the new Falefono incorporates both the assembly and the cabinet buildings together. The development has an estimated cost of $5 million. The majority of the cost, Fiso says, is being funded by the New Zealand government.
Some of the key features of the building is that it's intended to be much more eco-friendly. The materials used in the construction are materials that will be eco-friendly as well. The energy sources will be, the government have directed that it is solar powered. So the installation of solar energy is an important part of the overall project. Interior design and exterior design are intended to allow Niueans to input into the design of the building in the sense that it looks Niuean and has a Niuean feel about it.
The significant delays, he says, has created more costs for the construction, but they believe they'll still be able to operate within the directives given by the government. The additional costs are being absorbed by the contractor. Fiso says they are fortunate to get favourable terms given the length of time it has taken to get the construction underway. The new Falefono construction will take about 60 weeks to complete. An agreement has been established with the Foreign Fisheries Agency on an aerial surveillance program as part of efforts to address the unreported, unregulated fishing in Niue's exclusive economic zone. The agreement was made during the visit of the Director General of FFA, Dr. Manu Tupo Rosen, last week.
It's not so much the illegal at the moment, it's more the some of the vessels breaching the licensing conditions of course. So there's been a lot of discussion on how do we, what ways to reduce the IUU, especially underreporting and unregulated. So we've had, over the last couple of days as well, we've had discussions with the Foreign Fisheries Agency on an MOU that will facilitate a regional aerial surveillance program for Niue. So that's going into Cabinet today, so I'm hoping that we'll have some positive news. But the plan is actually just to enhance just added on the MCS tools that we currently in place. So then we also have the vessel monitoring system that we have. We don't have a patrol, but we can have access to these assets if we need to.
Niue has been praised for its efforts in fisheries management. Quinton Hannick, who leads the Fisheries Governance Research Program at the Australian National Centre for Ocean Resources and Security, University of Wollongong, told BCN News it's an amazing effort by a small country in regards to fisheries management. Niue's Fisheries Department is working in partnership with the University of Wollongong's Fisheries Governance Research Team, which advises international organizations and national governments on fisheries governance and marine conservation in the Pacific Islands region.
Sometimes people think that we're the smallest one, but we have the opportunity to be innovative. And when you're innovative, you can push boundaries and look at ways that the opportunity are there for Niue. Fisheries governance is sometimes they say it's not the fish we're talking about, it's actually the people who goes out and harvest. So the idea is to find opportunities where Niue can be able to get a little bit more from our resources. At the moment, our revenue is not as high compared to the others, especially in those in the equatorial or the tropical waters, because Niue is further down. It's a different type of fisheries altogether. But as members of the Commission, as members of the FFA, we have our participatory rights, and we do have rights to do the fishery. So where we can, we'll look at opportunities for Niue.
Director General of the Ministry of Natural Resources, Josie Tamate, is the current Vice Chair of the Western Central Pacific Fisheries Commission.
Currently, I am the Vice Chair for the Western Central Pacific Fisheries Commission, and that's a commission that really looking at the high seas. But it's also a commission we have not just the Pacific Island countries, but all of those who have boats participating in the region. So we have, parties. We've got about at least 22 parties. We call it contracting commission parties and members of the commission. We've had Australia, United States and China, Japan and the big distant water fishery nation all sitting in the same table, trying to ensure that we negotiate on terms that not only for us from the Pacific Islands, we're always making sure that our stock is sustainable and it's managed well, but it also ensure that the opportunities for Pacific Island who wants to go in commercial, that we're not locked out from the fisheries. But ultimately, for us, it would be more on ensuring the sustainability.
Peleni Talangi, the Government Solicitor General and Head of the Crown Law Office, has been appointed as the Secretary to Government. This has been announced through a press statement from the Public Service Commission. The position of Secretary to Government had been vacant since December 2017. 4 candidates were interviewed for the position, including some from overseas. Niue Rugby 15s came out with a triumphant win over the weekend, defeating Nauru in their final match, securing them second place overall in the Oceania Rugby 15s Cup in Papua New Guinea. In the competition overall, Niue defeated Nauru Solomon Islands with their only loss to Papua New Guinea. Nauru is new to the competition. Sione Lolesio has been reappointed as the USP Niue Campus Director. Lolesio was initially employed for a 1-year term, which began in July 2018, but was recently reappointed for a 3-year term. He is currently in Suva at the main USP campus in Lauvala, undertaking the orientation program for campus directors. He is expected to return to Niue and resume his role next week. And finally, award-winning singer-songwriter Solomon Islander Jaro Local will be arriving on Niue shores this Friday. Many fans are eagerly awaiting his live show this Friday, which will be held at the Pacific Way Bar, with doors opening from 7 p.m. With the help from Conscious Mick, Lisa Viliamo Jamison, major sponsors Pacific Way and businesses Kaika, Taloa Heights, the show would not be possible. Tickets for the show are already on sale at Double M. And that's BCN News for tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.